Taking control of our finances. That feels a bit like an oxymoron to me. We have just come through the hardest economy since the Great Depression. The market at one point was down 45%, more than 10% of the people out of work, and 1 in 4 mortgages today are either in trouble or underwater. How are we supposed to take control of our finances when our government couldn't stop this and our money managers couldn't stop this? I'll tell you, we're going to do it like women because we're so good at it. I was talking to Casey Gwinn earlier in the week, and he was saying that he was visiting with the president of Jordan, and the president of Jordan said, the women in our country are so powerful, they are what make us great. And that can be said of any country in the world. Think about it. I've often read that if women ran the world, there would be no more wars. Who do they give microloans to in third world countries? They give it to women. Because women will start farms, they'll build schools, they'll provide safe housing, they do phenomenal things. The Wall Street Journal reports that women on average earn 1% more than their male counterparts. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but if you have $100,000 and someone earns 8% and someone earns 9%, over a 20-year period of time, that difference is almost $100,000. How do women do that without talking to each other? They do it intrinsically. They actually did it by taking less risk. I have seen in working with men and women over the years that men are more concerned about the return on their money, where women are more concerned about the return of our money. We are nurturers, we're nesters, we're protectors. We don't take undue risk where our family and our kids' education and our homes are concerned. Another way that women are intrinsically good, we ask for directions. Women use twice as many words as a man does during a day. I've been told that's because we have to ask for what we want twice. But that's not a bad thing in investing. That's called doing your due diligence. Ask, ask, ask again. Drive your financial advisor crazy. If you don't understand that investment, if it doesn't make sense to you, if you cannot articulate back what that investment does, or if it's too good to be true, don't do it. Does the name Bernie Madoff ring a bell? I want to tell you a sad story about this. And it's a true story. There was a couple down in Florida that were very, very successful. They sold their business, and it was their money, it was their kids' money, and it was their grandkids' money. And they invested $25 million with Bernie Madoff, who was offering them 25 to 27% return on their money year after year after year. They were getting uncomfortable about this, so the husband says, I'm going to go to New York, and I'm going to talk to this guy, and I want to find out what he's doing. So he went to New York, went into Madoff's office, and said, Madoff, what are you doing with my money? And Bernie sat across that desk, and he was arrogant, and he said, who are you to come in here and ask me these questions? I don't have to answer this. I don't like you. I'm giving your money back. Get out of my office. And he says, no, that's not what I wanted. I want to give you another $5 million. That was 3 months before this whole thing fell apart. There's a part of me that wonders if he'd have put his wife on that plane, she'd have kept talking, she'd have been kicked out of there, and they'd have been 30 million bucks up. I mean, it's just who we are. Women can be very intuitive about investing. Trust that. Now, there's a difference between being emotional and being intuitive. And sometimes I have a hard time figuring out what's emotional, what's intuitive. So let's talk about that a little bit. Here's the game that emotions play on you. We're always told to buy low, sell high, right? That's not what we do. We see something that's doing really well, we buy it, it drops, it tanks, we sell it. Okay, that's the wrong thing to do. It looks like this. Your brother-in-law comes along, he's got an investment, he's been in real estate, he ought to know something by now, right? So you buy the same investment, and it goes up and you're happy, and it goes up some more and you're really happy, And then the thing goes down, and it's like, well, it'll come back up. We got a little denial going. It drops more, I'm getting nervous. Drops more, I'm getting out of this while I still have some of my money left, and it drops again, and you're happy. And then the thing rides back up again. Gee, if I just would have hung on to it, I'd have made a lot of money. Anybody heard dialogue like that? That's emotional investing. Let's talk about intuitive investing, because this is what we're good at. Intuition does not operate on a vacuum. It has to be preceded by knowledge. Ask all of the questions you can. If you understand an investment, if you feel that it's a good risk, and it fits your time horizon, check in with your gut. If it feels good, it will probably work for you. Maybe not all the time, but it will work for you most of the time. So now we have to worry about, well, where does knowledge come from? Do you ever wonder about how money managers make their decisions on investments? What happens is they all get into a big room and they bring in, each one of them, a level of expertise. And they start talking things through and they share notes and they decide, are we going to buy, not buy, sell, hold? They make their decisions that way. So, as women, I think we can do the same thing, but have a lot more fun with it. Imagine this, putting together a group of your peers and meeting 4 to 6 times a year, and everybody volunteers to do something. Somebody might read a book on Warren Buffett or the economy or the fundamentals of investing. Someone else might read the Wall Street Journal, The Economist, the New York Times. Somebody else might say, I'm going to follow politics. We just got offshore drilling, right? So who's going to be building those drills? Who are the oil refineries? Who's going to be transporting the oil? Who's doing the nuclear energy? Who's doing alternative energy? Healthcare bill. Who's going to be put to work there? Following where the money is going to be spent will tell you where there's money to be made. Another woman might say, you know what, whoa, this is just too much for me. I'll read Rolling Stone magazine and I'll figure out what Gen X, Gen Y are doing and who's spending what on their pet. And that person can bring something to the table. So everybody can get together almost like a book club, bring together what knowledge they have, and you can share. Also in this group of women, don't be afraid to go public with your goals. Tell them, this month I'm working on, might be paying off a credit card or saving for a house, or I'm getting ready for retirement. Share your goals with each other. And when you come back the next time, did you do what you said you were going to do? If not, what's going on with it? Didn't have time, didn't understand it, was afraid to do it? Talk about what's going on. In your group of women, support each other. Someone might be going through a divorce, taking care of an elderly parent, just lost a parent. Support each other because your pool of resources will really be powerful. Over time, you can see how you will become really well versed in investments, very much in control of your finances and who you are, and it works beautifully. So let me switch gears a little bit. I want to talk about the 5 things that you need to do to be financially successful. The first thing is, don't spend more than you make. Sounds easy, but that little card comes in the mail. You know it's bad, but you can control it. Comes easy at first, balances go up and up and up, and before you know it, you're freebasing shoes in Nordstrom's. Don't do it. If you have a credit card, do yourself a favor. Put that thing in a bucket of water, stick it in the freezer, and the next time you have that retail therapy, you're going to have to take that thing out of the freezer, thaw it out, drive back down to the mall, park, go into the store. Trust me, by the time you do all that, you probably won't spend the money. It works well.